Peace and blessings, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Chopping It Up in the Lab with your host, the Chocolate Chef. Yes, that is me. So, if you are new to our show, I'm just going to give you a little bit about myself. I am an educator, a life skills coach, and I am an food sport competitor over 20 years. This show is a culinary talk show, a little bit more than a talk show, but it's a culinary network of passionate chefs, restaurant owners, farmers, bakers, and foodies like yourself. We bring these talented people to this platform so you can meet and see just how much talent is out there in our country, and globally. I'm thinking global, y'all. I like that expansion thought process. So we try to do 30 minutes, but if it's hot and juicy, we go a little longer. We got an hour to play with. But I like to, it's Sunday. I know how y'all get. I already overstand. So after well, we always start off with a fun food fact. I always tell y'all about my fun food fact from the last show. And if y'all know, the last show's fun food fact was definitely my favorite. I don't know if I can ever top that one. You want to know why? Because it was about chocolate. I should get the Godiva to give me some little change for promoting their product. But this is not the highest quality chocolate, but it is dark chocolate and it is so smooth and I love it. Absolutely love it. And before we end the show, I'm gonna have to take me a little piece of chocolate. So how could you be the chocolate chef and not show chocolate or have that as a fun food fact? So that, and then we found out one of the cool facts that it's a vegetable. Sip, sip. And while I'm sipping, inside of here, you see that mint? That's chocolate mint. No, it's not made with cocoa. Actually, chocolate mint is a crossbreed between spearmint and regular peppermint. That's a whole nother fun food fact. But this is chocolate mint. I did that in honor of last week's fun food fact of chocolate. But this week's fun food fact, let's get into it. Let's get into it. It's about pomegranates. Yeah. And I'm going to highlight some fall food. I believe in eating in season is the best thing you can do for your brain and your body. Okay. Pomegranates are native to the Middle East and they belong to the berry family. I kind of think we knew that part. Pomegranates are also classified as a superfruit. Yeah, when we try to buy it off season, it's expensive like a super food or a super fruit as well. Pomegranates can be stored for up to 2 months in the refrigerator for over 200 years. So, this is a very ancient fruit. So, you got to give it some respect. So, I want to just kind of motivate you all to go out and do something fun this week with the pomegranate. Okay, so getting right into the show. It's been a long week for me, you guys. We had some exciting things happen, and our guest was a part of that excitement that I experienced this weekend. And I her or didn't start networking with her until recently. However, I knew of her about 6 or 7 months ago. My middle daughter, showed me her baking business and how cute she was, and she was like, "Mom, look, they say she looks like me. This is they said this is my twin." And I was like, "Yeah, I could see that." And so fast forwarding, we go into I'm a part of this business network where we have business mentoring called ABS Tribe. She was in there and just watching her, post some of the things, and we were just networking. And I said, you know what? For a youngster, I have to have her on my show because she is just not only does she looks like my daughter. I mean, if you seen them together, you would think that they're definitely sisters. But she is so sweet and so genuine and so passionate about what she's doing. And she kind of reminds me of me when I was in my 20s. And I'm like, listen, I see so much. And so overly excited with her, but I just love her energy. And so let's read a little bit about her. Florida native. Oh, hey, second Florida native we had on the show. Last week we had Chef Knight, and he was from Florida. So this is Florida native Khadijah Muhammad. No, we are not blood relatives, but we do share the same spirituality. Um, AKA Deja Bakes is an organic home baker located in the Tampa area. Yeah, she gets that sunshine here. Uh-oh. Okay. Khadijah has been baking for 5 years. Her motto is everything she makes is made with love, care, and a prayer. Khadijah's mission is to serve her customers with nothing less than the absolute best. And I absolutely love that. So, with that being said, let's bring in our guest, Sister Khadijah. Hey, how you doing? Peace and
Assalamualaikum.
blessings. Assalamualaikum. Look, all the greetings,
Waalaikumsalam.
right?
Right.
How
Thank you.
are you this? Yeah.
I'm
How are you
doing
this
fine.
evening?
I'm fine. I can't complain. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Both of us are a little tired. We've had a very long weekend. But
Yes.
I just read your bio. I don't know if we're gonna have a little. It sounds like we may have a little 1 or 2 second delay in the feedback.
Mhm.
But if we do, I'll try to pause and make sure that you can hear and give you time to answer the questions. Um, but yeah,
Uh,
tell us a little bit about yourself and your business. I don't want anything unless it comes from you. So tell us a little about yourself.
So my name is Khadija. I actually started baking back in 2016. I baked my first pound cake with my mom. She was baking pound cake for just friends and family, and one day I wanted to learn how to bake a pound cake. So I learned how to make it, and I absolutely loved the way that I felt, baking my first cake. And then I had my family try it, and they loved it. And basically, my mom, she had competition at that point. So I decided to go ahead and take the initiative to create a business because I've always been pretty much business oriented. Um, I decided to start selling cake slices, and I was doing pretty good with them. And then in 2018, I actually started to step outside my comfort zone with just the pound cake, and I started making other desserts like strawberry cake and carrot cake or cookies, everything like that. But I wanted to make sure that when I baked everything organically, that I used the best ingredients that I knew of, and not using white sugar, not using artificial food coloring, soy, high fructose corn syrup. I was very particular about the ingredients that I used.
Is that where the
And
concept or the organic comes from? Like you said, organic, or you
yes.
just being organic naturally in a baker? Mm.
Organic parts, like yes,
Okay.
the actual products that I use.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So
But I
that's
didn't think about that one. I like that.
right. I know. See, that's the how I read. I said, well, let me get some clarification on that. So you're fairly new to the business, and you're kind of I'm a mompreneur, so I call you a youngpreneur. Entrepreneurship is
Yes.
doesn't sound like it's new to you, but it sounds as if you've been, having this mindset for quite some time, since you've been sounds like very young. And I know I've been following you on social media. And you were saying the other day you had some other things that you were doing before you started baking. You want to share a little bit about those things and how you got into baking?
Sure.
Well, you told us about how you got into baking in the kitchen with your mom, but from moving from those other endeavors that you were doing, how did you get it move from that to baking?
So I actually first had a cleaning business, which my goal was always to employ youth behind me, the younger generation. I was always passionate about future generations coming up behind me, that I want to leave something, a foundation behind for them, and of course, my own children. And so I started a cleaning business. It was actually called Stay Clean with a K. I love that name because no one had it. Um, and I did that for about 2 years because I worked like independently with someone who had their own cleaning business, and I wanted to start my own. However, of course, it got to a point where, I mean, I was baking and cleaning, and I actually had a t-shirt business with my brothers, and they ended up bailing on me. So the t-shirt business went out of whack. With the
Listen,
cleaning, someone tried to actually invest in that business, in the cleaning business, when I became Stay Clean LLC. I actually stayed in business probably for like a couple of months because I realized how hard it really was to market and, really put myself out there as far as cleaning goes. And I just kind of was discouraged in a way, actually, by it. And I realized that baking was more so of something that, I love to do. I didn't have to worry about my hands, because the
yeah,
chemicals with the cleaning, and being in certain people's homes, that I didn't necessarily know, and anything could happen. So it was just all these different things I started to think about, and decided that if I go the baking route, then I can still be able to do my purpose, which is to help children. So that's kind of
I
how I went to
I
straight
love
baking.
that. I love that. And speaking of your purpose with helping children, I know this weekend you just did your first virtual class, and I was a part of
Yes.
that class.
Yes.
We did a mommy and me baking class, and I want to show you guys. She was so professional. It's so much fun. We baked the chocolate chip cookies, and the children. You had about 30 people to register for that class, and
Yes.
here's the certificate that the children got received. You see,
Mhm.
she's official now. And she made everybody. Now, let me tell you, now she's trying to be an entrepreneur. Now, she's
I
like,
love
I
it.
can do some nice sweet treats. And I was like, Mommy's
I
already working
love
so hard.
it.
But listen, I'm about to
Yes.
market girl. She's going to be on Magic City Flavors with a little face. It's going to be so nice. I can't wait.
Yes.
So
I
thanks
can't
to
wait to
you.
see it.
See what you've
Praise be to
done? You kind of
Allah. Wow.
motivated those things. And you made an announcement on this show. I mean, I don't know if you want to make it today, but I know you made it
I
during.
did.
Okay. Did you make it? You want to make it today? There's
Sure.
something else you got coming out.
Yes,
Dealing
you can announce it. I
No, you go ahead and talk about it because I think it's adorable.
Okay. So this is my baby actually. But I actually have a passion in writing as well. I've always journaled, I've always loved writing. I actually planned on doing a life story about my own life of writing, and I started it and my computer crashed. So
Uh,
I was really like, okay, this is not, because I had wrote it on my goal list as this is something that I'm gonna do for my birthday like year, because I always write my goals, and having a book was on my list. So when I my personal book didn't go well, I'm like, that's not gonna stop me because I've been wanting to do a children's book as well. So I remember I just started writing it and planning it out. And I didn't necessarily know what the turnaround time was gonna be. I didn't know what was next besides me writing a story. And what came to my mind was my mom teaching me how to bake my first cake. And I was like, I can put this in a book form to inspire young girls to bake with their moms. So I even put the family aspect of the dad in there as well.
that's
So
great talent. Great
yes, ma'am. So that from there I contacted Sister Anura, who's an illustrator. She does art, and I reached out to her. And it's so funny because the process, like even with me writing everything down, she had to, like, she used her mind to create certain things that I didn't even necessarily think about. So the teamwork was absolutely amazing. And now it's in the state where it's actually getting published. So
talent.
my
Yay!
first book, which was, again, like I stated, inspired by my mom teaching me how to bake my first cake. Deja
Oh,
bakes her first cake. It comes with, well, there's also a coloring book with it, and I just want to create the character Deja bakes
yeah. You had those
in the future.
little packets set up for. I think you
Yes,
have like you have some with coloring books and T-shirts and the actual book. But we do
yes.
have it says L. Jordan says, when will the next class be? Yeah,
That's been a
trying to
question that
recover.
everybody has been asking. Honestly, I don't have the date yet. I do plan on having the date announced by this week, Wednesday, God willing. That's the goal. I want to be able to announce the next class this week. Being that it's a frequent asked questions, and I want to get y'all question answered. But you can definitely follow me at DJ Bakes on my social media, or even register to my email list at djbakes.com as I make announcements there as well.
That is a great answer. Like, did you learn in the business class? so,
Yes,
thinking
ma'am.
about being in business, a lot of people were affected by COVID, and in 2016, well, you had several businesses. How did COVID affect your business?
Oh, COVID has blessed my business, I will
Every
say.
single person that has
I
come
will
on this show said
say
COVID was a blessing. Every single person.
it really has been, honestly. I still work a full-time job, and thank God I have been able to keep my job, which is my investor. But I'm working from home. So on my breaks, when we were working in the office, I would come home on my lunch break, my 1 hour lunch break. I'm packaging for shipping orders, or I'm trying to finish a cake, or I'm trying to put in the extra time for the business aspect, where now I'm home, so I kind of have
Mhm.
more control of being able to get out orders more efficient and quicker, and take more time. And my job is not as busy, so I'm kind of able to definitely stay in the kitchen more than I would if we were still in the office. So I'm also using the time to be able to be more creative and actually put out what I've been wanting to put out, even the baking class and just doing certain things. It definitely, COVID has definitely benefited my business.
Wow. I wonder why. I mean, every person that I know who has a restaurant or is a chef, they said, COVID was a blessing for them. That's okay. I'm gonna go into that group too. So, in your business, what's your most popular dish? I know we did or baked good. I know we did the cookie, and it was really yummy.
Yeah.
Like my whole family really likes it. What is
Oh,
it?
yay.
What is one of your best sellers in your business?
Um, Definitely cookies right now. In this season. But usually around holiday time, I say carrot cake. My carrot cake is pretty
Oh yeah.
popular, and my
Oh yeah.
pound cake.
Yeah. So you do cakes and do you do pies?
I'm sorry, do I do pies?
Yes. Do you do cakes, pies, and cookies, or is just cakes and cookies right now?
Not pies yet, but that's
Yeah.
in the plan. That is
Okay.
next.
Listen, that's a sign of a good baker. When you thinking expansion, let's do some recipes.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the story behind the name DJ Bates? I can kind of figure it out a little bit. What it may be a story that you want to share.
Actually, a friend suggested that name. A friend at the time suggested that name, DJ Bakes, and I was like, I like that. I'm gonna go with that. So I did.
Oh,
I don't even remember the name I thought in my head at first, um, honestly, but yeah, that I
you're
just went
good.
with DJ Bakes.
Yeah, yeah, and it's kind of like the same thing with Magic City Flavors. That came overnight from a competition I had to get into, and I'm like, okay, in Birmingham we're called the Magic City. I know in Miami I think it's the Magic City too. They call that the Magic
Yeah.
City. But I was like, hey, let's just put Magic City Flavor. So our name is a comical situation too. So being a youngpreneur, what are some of the challenges that you have experienced in your business?
um, I would say learning to be consistent, learning to
Mhm.
be accepted to the fact that not everyone knows your vision or will understand what it is that you're trying to do. Um, that you have to really believe in yourself and what it is that you want to do. You can't really depend on anyone else to see what you're trying to bring into reality. I would say, I mean, learning business all in all, because it's just something that's not really taught. So, having to invest in actually learning what it takes to be an entrepreneur. So, the ABS Tribe, that's my
Yes.
recent investment, and it has helped tremendously. And I know it's so much for me to learn, but just in the little bit that I did learn thus far, it has definitely allowed me to step out my comfort zone. And while you see the Mommy and Me baking class, you
Hmm.
see me on live, you see me, doing these things, is because of that motivation.
That's awesome because I've been watching you even before the business group that we're in. And I mean you
Mhm.
have a pretty good Instagram following and you were doing some things on Instagram. Confidence coming out of you nowadays. It's just like you're out there more. And oh,
Yeah.
we got a comment. Let's see, or a question. Brother Jordan again. He says, "What is your favorite dessert?"
Thank
I
you
don't
for
know
your
if that's
question.
yeah. I don't know if that's a dessert
My
that, that you like to eat or you like
diamond,
to cook. I don't know. Let's see.
I'll
You
give
can do
both.
both. Right.
I'll give both. So actually, my favorite still that I like to cook, well, that I like to bake and eat, is actually my strawberry crunch cake.
Hmm.
Strictly because like that's like one recipe that I brought different flavors, different recipes together, switch things up to where it's like I don't think no one has made this cake
A
ever.
strawberry crunch cake? Wow. So have you thought
Yes,
about doing something like that in a cookbook, like a dessert book, something like that? Oh, we got somebody else
I
talking about
have.
it. You have thought about the
I have thought about doing a like maybe
cookbook?
like an ebook cookbook type thing. I started
Yeah.
writing one like a while ago when I first started, but definitely in the near future I do plan on dropping a cookbook, a dessert book.
Awesome. So that's the one you like to eat and bake, or that's just the one you like to eat?
Yes, the one I like to eat and bake.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, we got Kadar Muhammad. He says, "Hey, strawberry cake is delicious." So I guess he's saying your strawberry cake is delicious, and your cheesecake is delicious.
That's
I'm not
actually
just
my
saying.
mom.
That's your mom's cheesecake.
Well, no, that's
Oh,
my
this is your
mom as
mom.
my brother
Oh,
counted. Yes, and my mom doesn't
I
do
see it
social
now.
media, so she definitely uses my brother's profile.
Oh, you gotta educate your mother. Look, my children are constantly educating me on how to deal with social media. Wow. Okay, that was
Thank
funny.
you, mom.
Okay, business. How old were you? Being that you're fairly young, I'm not gonna ask you your age, but I can say you're in your 20s. I heard you say your age. I don't know if you want to tell everybody.
25.
Oh,
No.
she's 25. Oh my goodness, if I could be 25 again right now. Um, so how old were you? Because you sound pretty grounded for 25 years old. I was too. I've had several businesses. I'm 43 and I can go down the list of businesses and things that I have tried. But how old were you the first during your first business
um,
endeavor?
I believe 20, 20,
Okay.
21, maybe 20, 21,
That's
around that time.
that's a great time. That's a really really good time. And I think the most profound thing that I've heard you say right now was the fact that you're learning more about business. And I think that hurts a lot of people. I was talking to someone recently and I realized it's being in business you have to have a certain mindset and not only and we can just keep trying, but we'll keep making. Now you're going to learn one by choice, of course, by making mistakes, or you can learn by getting a mentor, investing in learning the proper ways to go about business. So I
Right.
think what you're saying, getting that education is very important, even if it's just a few weeks of taking a business course before you get into business, or if you have yourself if you have a business and call yourself a business person or entrepreneur, please take a business class. Even if it's just read about it. I mean, something. So that's very. I'm glad
Right.
you shared that with us.
Yes,
So
ma'am. I definitely agree with that.
you were talking about finding your passion on one of your lives, and I think that was the other day. You want to talk about that a little bit because I use that a lot. I talk about I'm a balancing passionate person. We did
Mhm.
have a chef on recently, and I forgot she coined some phrase about being how she you're multi passionate, trying to keep it all together and make it work and bring the vision together. So yeah, that takes some skill.
Right.
Yeah, tell us about your passion and how you are trying to marry your love for children and teaching and all that good stuff.
So I actually did a live that she's talking about on Instagram, titled "Marrying Your Passion and Your Purpose." And for a while, I kind of didn't. I kind of put, I guess, the two together. I didn't really know what my purpose was, and but trying to, really dig deep and find what is it that, what is my purpose, what's my reason why, why am I here on this earth? And obviously I have a passion for baking, but it wasn't fulfilling enough to know that I was just going to be a baker,
Hmm.
and even with cleaning, it was like, yes, I have a passion for cleaning. However, I'm really building the business for children, like, for future generations that are to come. And I remember, actually, I thought of a couple of business ideas, but they all surrounded around children. And with even with my writing, which is another passion of mine, even with my baking, and me realizing that I always went back to children. Children was always like on the forefront of my mind. The youth, the future, like that's
Hmm.
literally always was there. So I grew up with two young brothers. I have two younger brothers who I believe that I helped raise. Also a younger sister, and my passion for just helping them. And I remember being a young girl actually teaching them certain things, and as I'm growing older, I'm always sharing with them certain things and trying to teach them certain things. So it's just like, my passion, my purpose for helping the generations behind me that don't have to. My goal really is to help them where they don't have to go through certain things that I went through, in particular, young girls. Um, and just trying to leave a mark where I can say that by God's grace and mercy that I'm able to impact young girls to help them grow into, these beautiful women, whether they're a baker or whether they're whatever they are, it doesn't matter. But knowing that they're able to find their purpose at young ages rather than older, they're able
Yeah.
to, get into things as they're younger, and kind of breaking the mindset that we have to reach a certain age to get success or do certain things, So, um, with now tying in my baking with my purpose as far as children is why I'm now deciding to, teach children how to bake. I'm writing a book for young girls. When I write my personal testimony, it will still be for younger girls behind me. Not saying that no one older can't read it per se,
Right.
but my life story I want to share to help people behind me that are coming up, so that way they can learn from my mistakes, and they don't necessarily have to go through, hopefully, what I went through in life. So yeah, that's kind of how I plan on tying in my passion and my purpose
When I
together.
tell you, you sound so much like me, it almost just makes me want to hug myself because it's just like I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so me right now talking. But whenever that book drops, I have to get it because I do a weekly story time
Okay.
for the children because everything I do about is about the children too,
Yes.
children and families.
Yes, ma'am.
That's training people and just making some simplicity and simple things look amazing.
Right.
People will take a pillow and it's like that's just a pillow, but my god, you embellished it so much. Oh my goodness, how did you And so that's the reaction I like. And I love teaching people. So I feel you 100% on that. But
Yes,
now
ma'am.
we're moving into another part of our show. I told you it was gonna be painless. It's not that painful, right? So this part of our show is and I know the internet. I don't think it's on me. I don't know because I'm looking at my bars, but I can tell it's a little staticky.
Hmm.
The internet. So I'm hoping that our viewers are not too disturbed by the static in our connection. But this part of the show is called Kitchen Conundrum. It's basically some questions that make you think. So the first question would be, what is your most useful baking tool?
My mixer.
I know, right? Totally agree. I totally agree. You take that away. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how they did it without it.
Gonna be a
But
lot of
you didn't use
stirring, a lot of strong
right.
arms.
You didn't use a mixer during the class though. Why did that was interesting. Why did you just do it
So
by
I
hand?
act- so actually with the chocolate chip cookies, I feel that that was like the easiest thing to do without using a mixer. I've tried it before. That and brownies, I can pretty much do without a mixer. Maybe my chocolate cake. No, I use a mixer for that. Actually, I do use a mixer for my brownies too. Sorry, but for my chocolate chip cookies,
You don't
that's
have to
literally
do
the
that.
only thing that I just hand.
And
I think when I first started baking, I actually did it like by accident, and then I just went with it from there.
so usually if I melt the butter for the cookies and for my
Mhm,
cookies, I wouldn't use a mixer. But if I use, just room temperature butter, I would use
mhm.
a mixer. However, I thought that was genius to tell everybody they can do it by hand because you got to think when you do everybody don't have the same tools. And so when you said that, I
Right.
was like, that is genius. That is really smart. So yeah, I wanted to ask you. I was like, did she plan that or was it just something she does? Okay, wait.
I chose to use that specific recipe first just for that reason. And then
I
I'm
don't
like,
blame you.
for future classes with mixers, then I would give
Yeah.
them enough time in case for those, who don't have a mixer, then they can kind
Mm.
of get one in enough
Right.
time.
Give them get a heads up. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. So what's the most important ingredient in baking for you in your kitchen? So we know about the tool. So what's
Mhm.
the ingredient that you can't live without as a baker? Let me see
I'm
if you're gonna
gonna
stay what I
go
say.
with my vanilla. I'm gonna go with my
Oh,
vanilla.
that's a good one. That is a good one. I was gonna say like flour, but the vanilla, I'm feeling that. Yeah, I know you use pure vanilla. Please say
Yes,
that. I don't
yes.
want to tell my daughter. Listen, my daughter Naima, I gotta break it. As I was looking at the vanilla that she bought because she uses my vanilla, and I had to get her to go buy her own vanilla because I'm running a business here. So she buys the vanilla, but I don't think she read it because it's an imitation. And I was about to use. I know she
Whoa.
didn't read it because it says it says pure. It says pure something.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I don't. I know she's gonna be like, "Ma, you put me on blast." But
Not the imitation.
now
We
you
want
know,
the
Naima.
real
I'm
stuff.
sorry. Um, I know, right? So if you can spend a day with any chef in the world, who would it be and why? They could be famous. They don't have to be famous. They could be alive. They don't have to be alive.
Um, I actually would say I'm trying to think of her name. I have her as a Facebook friend, but her business is called Porcelain Plates.
Oh yeah,
Um, you know her
Sister
name? I can't.
Carla.
Sister
Her name is
Carla. Oh,
yeah, Carla
I
Muhammad. Yeah, she's in
absolutely
Atlanta now.
love.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's my
I absolutely love
sister.
her work. She's
Yes.
like my one of my like biggest inspirations. I just love her work. I've
I
been
think I'm gonna
following
get
her
her
for
on
a
the show
minute,
too.
so
Yeah, I'm gonna get her on the show too. She's
yes,
just so shy
please
though.
do.
She's so shy. Sister Carla, if you watching this, I'm calling you out. But I know I've talked to her before. She's like, girl, I don't want to talk about all. I didn't ask her about the show, but we have had conversations before. She's more of a laid back sister. We'll see if she comes on the show. We'll see if she accepts that invitation. Okay, so
I
last
would love
question.
for her to.
I know that would be a good show too, because that's I love her energy. So,
Yeah.
food pairing. Now, in now I know as in the kitchen as chefs, we just kind of mix up a whole bunch of stuff. But as bakers, we do the same thing. We can take some things, but baking is more of a science. You know, you'll find a lot of cooks
Mhm.
that do not mess with baking because they don't like to
Mhm.
follow the rules. They don't want to follow instructions for real. That's what I
Right.
say. Cooks are renegades. Bakers, we're more structured, you know. So I got a little bit of
Right.
both in me. So if you had to pair just your favorite pairing for a baked dish, you just said the strawberry. I think you said a strawberry crunch cake. I don't know what the ingredients you have in that. But yeah,
Mhm.
what would be one of your favorite pairings that most people wouldn't think about? Give you an example. I know in our community, we do the navy beans, and every time I take it somewhere, matter of fact, I won a couple of competitions with the bean pie, and they're like, "Bean pie? Yeah."
Wow.
They're like, "What's bean pie? I mean, what kind of bean? Pinto beans?" And I'm like, "No, navy beans."
Right.
So but most people will see that as a kind of off pairing for dessert. So, do you have anything like that?
That I make, not really. I mean, I feel like the only thing is pretty much the strawberry crunch cake at the moment because it's cheesecake with strawberry cake. Um, but nothing. I don't do anything too crazy, not yet, at least.
You got to get out there. You got to get it in your head. Like, I wonder how mangoes will flow over something.
I
So see,
do.
but write it down and try it out. It's all about. That's why I call this the lab. Because you're in it. To me, it's like being in the science lab. I have a passion for cooking, but more so for the science of cooking. That's why the lab, chopping it up in the lab, is so me. I love that part. So getting your
I
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I did just think about something. Well, I mean, well, I guess it still doesn't really necessarily count as like something like that. But I don't know if this helps or not. Now that I'm thinking about what I'm about to say.
Good.
But I don't make Oreos, I make BJOs. Like I make my cookies from
Ah,
scratch for like my cookies and cream cake. I also
yeah.
make my own wafers for my banana pudding.
You fancy,
So
huh?
I
You're
mean,
right.
it's kind of
Look,
like I don't know.
that's perfect selling point to say that you make your own wafers for banana pudding. How many people can say that? You said that you make your own wafers. That's a marketing point
Not
right
many.
there. So I like it. I'll buy it just because you said it.
Yes.
So this the next part of this show is called Would You Rather, and this is also dealing with pairing. So, of course, I am the chocolate chef, and I got to talk about chocolate on this
Yeah.
show. So, we're gonna take some items, and you choose between the two. Would you rather do this with chocolate or this? Okay. So, the first one would be: Would you rather do pair feta with chocolate?
I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
Would you rather pair brie, which is the cheese, or feta, which is also a cheese, with chocolate?
I didn't hear the first one. Did you say Brie?
Brie, Brie.
Brie.
Brie. Yeah.
Is that
Uh,
more like a harder cheese?
No, it's a soft cheese. I was just gonna tell you, it's a soft cheese,
um,
and feta has a little tanginess to it.
honestly, I feel like I don't know either cheese like that. Well, I know feta. I'm gonna go with Brie. Let's just say
Uh,
Brie.
I'm gonna say that's a good choice. A very good choice.
Okay.
Because chefs do that. They do that. I just hate that the internet is so choppy because I know I'm
I
looking at my bars
know.
and I'm pretty good. I don't know how it is on your end, but I'm
I
full.
have
Yeah,
full Wi-Fi bars.
me
I'm not
too.
sure.
I'm not sure either. They just don't want us to be great tonight. It's okay. It's okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So chocolate and honey or chocolate and agave.
mm. Dang, that's a kind of hard one.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with chocolate and agave.
I was gonna say that's a great choice. Even though honey does well with chocolate too, but I think the sweetness from agave is just,
Hmm.
more people put that in dishes with as sweeteners. So I can
Yes.
see that even more so than the honey.
Right. I do
Um
that actually for my vegan desserts. I actually
ah
made, well, actually my keto friendly because no sugar. So I used agave for my chocolate chip cookies for someone who was vegan and keto.
see there. So hey, you already paired it. Okay, so number three would be chocolate and cranberries or chocolate. Fun fact of the day:
Chocolate and cranberries or chocolate and what was the other one?
pomegranate.
I'm gonna say pomegranate since we talked about that this
Right.
as the fun fact. And
I think
I
either
don't like
one would be
cranberries.
good. I want to try something with pomegranate. I am going to try something this week with pomegranate. I don't know if it's going to be chocolate though, but I think it'll be good. I think so. Make a nice little sauce with pomegranate. Okay, the last one would be this is a test for me for you.
Okay.
chocolate, chocolate and green tea or chocolate and coffee.
Oh. I've never had that in neither, but
Really?
when I think of coffee, I think of chocolate cake right now. So I'm just gonna say chocolate and coffee.
Yes, because that's pretty much a mocha. A mocha has like a
Oh,
yeah,
you're
that's
right. Okay,
yeah.
see, I didn't think of it
I
that way. Duh.
you're
Look at
right
me.
at it.
Still pass on a
Yeah.
good guess.
You did. You did. I wanted to see were you gonna be my friend with the green tea or my best friend with the coffee. Well, that right there, that was so cool. So what we do now, we wrapping up the show. You've been an awesome guest. You've
I
been
enjoyed
so
that.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you came on this evening. And what we usually do, we ask each one of our guests to leave our viewers with make sure we don't have leave our viewers with inspirational vitamin. We know that food is one some of the most nutritional healing has the most nutritional healing properties, and all medicine really comes from it. And you really don't have to take vitamins if you eat properly. So I like to look at that on a spiritual note. So to leave a little motivation because you've been doing great with motivating people and dropping some gems on your lives. I just leave us. We call it inspirational vitamin. So leave us with a little inspirational.
I'm sorry, it kind of broke up a little bit. Leave with.
Okay. Inspirational vitamin. Some type of motivational saying or inspirational saying you would like to leave with our viewers.
Oh. um. Hmm. And this can be about anything or
Anything.
anything.
This is
Um. I would say find. I know it's probably cliche or you may hear it a lot, but I would say find your purpose. And I would say that because when I found my purpose, my life literally is changing and I move in life more with purpose rather than doing things for just the heck of it, and um not really there's no value behind it. There's no substance. And when I
hmm
started to actually find what is it, why really am I here on this earth? We know that we were all born, but I know I'm not born for to do nothing, to sit around and just live and survive and not leave nothing, in this world. And because I'm a follower of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Nation of Islam, it has taught me a lot in regards to really finding my purpose, fulfilling that purpose, knowing that I'm a God and the God within me, I'm here for a reason. I'm not a nobody, right? We all have the potential and the God within us where we can bring out we can bring that out of us, but we have to dig and actually make sure that we do that. We can't just, kind of hope that it happens. You have to do the work to make sure that it does happen. So that is my
Awesome.
inspiration of the day.
Yeah, and I hope they were able to get it because I know it kind of broke up a little bit a couple times, and I
Oh.
feel like it's a conspiracy. No, I do. I, I just feel like certain guests
Listen, it could
I
be.
have on here really crazy every time. Like I had a sister on here, and she was just dropping gems too, and she was in the chocolate crew, and I'm just like, why are we constantly having issues,
No.
internet issues? So, but and I know I upgraded my internet just so we wouldn't have this issue. But nonetheless, we appreciate you, and I want you to let everybody know how to get in touch with you. I'm gonna put it on the screen here. What's the best way to get in touch with you?
The best way to get in touch with me is actually on my website, djbakes.com. I have a contact section there if you need to reach me directly. My email address is also djbakes@gmail.com. But if you would like to see my daily post and stay up to date of what, I'm constantly posting, you can follow me on social media, on Instagram at djbakes, and on Facebook at djbakes as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this, and keep doing what you're doing because I'm excited for you. I just see so many great things. I was 25, but I'm happy to be where I am now because I'm right where the creator wants me to be. So if you guys
Yes.
want to see this show again or any of our past shows, or if you want to make a donation or be a sponsor for this show because we are apparently we might need some more internet, some power for I gotta see
It
about this
might be me.
water.
I'm
You
just
think
gonna say it's
I
me,
don't
not you.
know because
It's
I'm
me.
looking at the bars. I have Spectrum. I don't know, but if you want to make some
Same here.
I know, right? Some donations, or if you want to find more out more about chopping it up in the lab or Magic City Flavors Cooking Lab, because we have some awesome classes coming up for November. All those holiday baking. I also do cake. Sister Khadija, I didn't tell you. I've been teaching children for about 10 years baking, how to cook
Wow.
and bake, and I was like, if you don't know how to cook and bake, just wouldn't say anything in your class when you called on me. I was like, okay, no, look, she's accepting my wisdom. But yeah, so I used to
Wow.
teach at
That's
Joanne's
like a real
Fabric.
surprise. You try to
Yeah, I
hide
know.
that
I
one
didn't
from
want to
me.
tell you.
10
I didn't
years.
want
That's
to tell you
amazing.
because I sometimes people get become intimidated if they know, oh, this person been
No.
doing it, which I'm so happy that you had the energy
Listen,
that
I'm
you
looking
had.
for a mentor.
Yeah,
I've been
look,
looking for a mentor, so
I would love to be that to you.
I would love for you to be my mentor.
For quite some time doing the cupcake classes and things like that, teaching and cake decorating class. So I'm a Wilton
Oh,
cake decorating instructor, and that
okay.
it really expanded my horizon when it came to baking. So
Yes.
definitely when it comes to children, a lot of people don't like to teach children when it comes to baking. So I thought
Mm-mm.
you did a phenomenal job. So you got that seal of approval from a Wilton cake
Oh,
decorator, all that.
thank
So I
you.
gotta give you that one. I gotta give you that
Thank
one.
you.
So you guys, I am sorry that the show was
Internet.
so choppy, but it's just gonna get better and better. So y'all, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight. I never worry about how many viewers we have because I know people go after the show. So
Right. I
yeah,
just
but
want
thank
to say before we go, I just want to thank you for having me on your show. It's absolutely amazing. I really
you.
love the show, the setup, the even the like
Aw.
ad, the promo video. That was really awesome. You did a great job.
Ye-
And I look forward to you mentoring me. I will
Yes,
definitely be reaching
ma'am.
out to you after this.
Definitely.
But I
Yeah.
just definitely want to congratulate you on you doing this because it's
Thank
amazing
you.
you showing other businesses. And anytime that we can network and, help each other rise,
Listen.
and I'm all for it. So,
I'm for it too, because we're in this together. So thank
yes,
you. I appreciate that. All right, you
collaboration.
guys. Yes, all about it. ABS tribe.
Yes, ma'am. I
Well,
love you.
Casey,
Thank
I love
you.
you more. Good night, everybody.